Rick, I'll start you off just with Saturday. Just what you liked about the scrimmage. Who stood out to you? Looked good?
I thought Saturday, like I was telling Coach, after the practice and I graded the film, first time in my 2 years here I've had some depth at corner. They've got a long way to go, but at least, there's talent there. Fidel's never played corner, but he's getting better. Josh has a lot of talent, but Josh is just not very tough mentally. He's got a long way to go, just toughness. Whereas Fidel is very tough mentally. Doesn't maybe have as much talent, a little bit stiff in the hips, whereas, Josh has, great flexibility, but one's tough and one's not. But with those two guys, we got some depth, JC. Kayvon is continuing to play extremely well, right where he left off last year. Kenneth Durden, for the first time, focused the entire practice. He had his very best practice graded out a winner. Still needs to be more physical on the stalk block and the tackling, but as far as being where he was supposed to be, over the top and all those things, I thought he had a really good scrimmage. So those three kids, Josh just got to get tougher. Fidel's got to continue to work on his flexibility, and we just got to get Durden, stronger, and I feel good there. And then George Baker had a great practice. And today, I tried to explain to him, we don't trust you right now. We put you in the game last year when it counted, and you got us burned. Lost the dang Louisville game. He has a great game, goes out there today and gives up 2 deep ones. And I just looked at him and said, you think the head coach still is going to trust you? We don't trust him. So he's never going to be a starter until we can trust him. So if he wants to keep giving up touchdowns, then he'll be eventually be third team. But at safety, I got one guy I can depend on. Jenkins will have a good day, and then he's hurt. Just like today, he goes down, and we don't get anything out of him today. That's his history. Durability, there is none. Toughness, there is none. He's just a real good athlete that I can't depend on to be on the field. The one I can depend on to be on the field is Joyce. Joyce would be on the field. I believe if his throat was cut, he'd be on the field. It's just how tough he is. He's just a tough mother, and that's what you need. I got one of them, and I'm trying to get Ernie there to boot to. He's a tough kid. We should have depth at safety, but today they went down like flies. A little bit hot. We're just not very tough. I'm tough. I didn't go down, but I didn't have to hit anybody.
I would think it's harder to teach toughness than it is fundamentals and technique.
You're born with it maybe, or it's instilled in you the way you were raised. I was raised tough. We had very little when I was coming up. My dad was a carpenter, so I was tough, and if I spoke wrong, I got hit. Backhanded. But kids are different these days. But why is Mark Joyce tough? Why is Kayvon tough? We got to keep pushing them, and we got to do the best we can to get them tough. You just, every day you got to push yourself a little bit further. Now today I kept them after, and I ran them, and I stayed on Josh, and I pushed him probably today further than he's ever been. And he says, well, I can do this, and every day he's just got to push a little bit further. As you can tell, I'm not in a very good mood.
Sometimes that's a good thing.
I don't want to have to make them practice. I shouldn't have to motivate them to practice, but I had to motivate them to practice today, which that disappoints me.
You've had John Gilgis back now for a couple of days. What have you been seeing of him since he's been?
John can't have any contact, he can just do pass scale, and he's very rusty, but he should be full speed, by the summer program, and I look for him to be in the top 5. I know John's tough. I don't have to do that.
It seems like Kayvon is his leadership abilities are really kicking in at this point. Whether he's very vocal with the secondary, but he's also vocal with the whole group in kind of an encouraging way. I mean, how nice is that to have a guy like that, a senior guy like that, that's really?
He's trying to be what Skinny Raymond was. He's trying to lead like Skinny did, and he's doing a real good job. And I thought Jenkins was going to help him a little bit. Now, maybe I'm speaking out of turn on Jenkins. Maybe he did get hurt. All I know is that he didn't even go through pursuit drill today. They said that he ran into Chandler running on and off the field and knocked himself out, which is hard for me to believe, but I guess that's what happened. I'll look at it on film. I would say, you know, if you had your eyes open, you might not run into somebody.
For you right now, just with who you have when they're healthy, do you know who your first 5 would be in a nickel, or who your first 4 would be?
First 5 in the nickel would be, into the boundary would be Kayvon.
Mm-hmm.
The safety would be Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
The starting strong safety would be Tabatu. The nickel would be Jenkins, and the corner would be either Fidel Montgomery or Durden, and it'd probably be Montgomery because he's tougher.
So Josh has sort of got a ways to go to get in there.
Yeah.
But you think he's a corner and not a safety right now, Josh?
Yeah. I think Josh is more of a corner than Fidel is, and Fidel's probably would be a better safety than a corner.
But he kind of needs the
But
corner.
I need him at
Right.
corner. Now, if I had Bivens right now, if I had Bivens and Jalen Spencer from Pensacola, then I would probably move him to safety.
Right.
That
Something you
could
could do in
happen.
the fall, right?
That could happen.
Sure.
You know, because he's played safety. He'll go to safety in a day and be back to
Right.
where he should be. I don't know if Jalen Spencer, I think Jalen can be a corner. I know Bivens can.
His legs should be okay? Jalen?
He's jogging almost full speed now. You know, so.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
You're welcome.